Yes, so it's Alex, and this video is really just going to be a redo of the other one. I got new recording software for free, and it's awesome, and it's not going to cause any lag on YouTube, and the other one sucked because of how that lagged. So I'm redoing it. If you already watched it, you don't need to watch this one. It's all the same stuff. Okay, so if you haven't watched that one, what we're doing is, my name is Alex, and this is going to be the first hopefully series of YouTube videos I'm going to be doing based around music. I'm going to talk about music that I listen to. I'm going to talk about music that I write with my band. I'm going to be talking about music that you listen to. You know, if you get on here, like you see this video and you're like, oh, you like this music, you should go listen to this band. And then I go on and I type them in and I find them and I'm like, oh my god, this band's awesome. And then so I get on YouTube and I talk about that one. So the music that you listen to. And sometimes I be talking about music that I don't listen to. I don't like to bash music, but you know, sometimes it needs to be talked about. So, okay, a little bit of introduction about myself for just, you know, not too much. I don't want you to get bored. My name's Alex. I'm 20 years old. I work in retail. It fucking sucks. I get minimum wage. I'm about to go back to school. I am about to finish an album with my band Glass Eye in May or June. We have our first DC show in May. It's going to be awesome. We use piano and violin and synth, and we both sing. It's me and my girlfriend Erin, and we use drums sometimes, and it's good stuff. So, okay. So beyond that, first thing I'm going to talk about today is Scotland. I don't know why. For some reason, Scotland is just full of crazy, ridiculously good indie rock. I don't know. Erin thinks that maybe because the countries, you know, just full of goats and bad weather and bad food and goats. I don't know. I mean, Scottish people probably like it there a lot better than I think. They're Scottish. They don't hate Scottish food. They're Scottish. It's not bad. Sure, they love goats. Anyway, but so recently I found these really good indie bands out of there. The first one found last year. Last album came out 2009. The most recent one. It's called the band is called the Twilight Sad, and the name of the album is Forget the Night Ahead. It's a really incredible album. It is this thing where it's not like angry music or brash music. It's kind of chill and relaxing at the same time. It's very, 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 very loud and fuzzy. They use a lot of filters on their guitars and a lot of that feedback, and so it gets really gritty and it's really interesting. They got the thick Scottish accent in there, which is actually very cool. It adds to the emotion of them. This lyrics a lot. Lyrics are very good throughout the CD. First song you should listen from them is The Room. It is the 6th track on the album. It's fantastic. Very metaphorical lyrics. A lot of that grit from the guitars in there, especially when it makes a climax in the song. It's beautiful. Other song you should listen to is Reflection of a Television. First track on the album, also very, very good. So those two. Second band from Scotland that I found recently is Frightened Rabbit. I should have found them back in 2008. My friend tried to make me listen to them, but I pushed it away, but then I finally found them. They came up with this album, Midnight Organ Fight, in 2008, and it's incredible. They've got that same Scottish indie rock feel, similar to Twilight Sad, but at the same time mix a kind of a modern folk rock thing in there. So kind of like Iron and Wine and M. Ward and Bon Iver, a little bit of that sound in there. So it's an interesting mixture of the two. It's very cool. First song you should listen to of theirs is Keep Yourself Warm. The lyrics are some of the best I've heard in years. They're very simple, but they make a lot of sense. They're very strong. So you should definitely listen to that album. The other song off that album you should listen to is Modern Leopard. That's another really, really good one. Right, so enough about Scotland. Next thing we're going to get into is a little bit of a touchy subject that might be old news, but if it's new to me, it's new to you, then whatever. Who cares? I've actually been thinking about this for a while. I just haven't really talked to anybody about it, so I feel like expressing myself. Animal Collective. I think they are a little bit overrated. I like them. I think what they're doing is kind of interesting. That's new, but they're overrated. The new album was not nearly as good as everyone says it was. Meriwether Christopher Villian. Jeff Jack said it really well, saying that the album is kind of bookended by the best two songs of the CD, first and last one, and I think that's very true. And everything in the middle just seems really forgettable to me. It's not bad music. It's definitely listenable. I have nothing against it. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't think it's that great. I think it's okay. Um, I think just because you're doing something really totally weird and something that no one's heard before, that doesn't necessarily make it good. It could spur something that becomes something really, really interesting, some kind of movement in electronic music. But what they're doing, I just don't. It doesn't attract me to it so much. So I'm not part of the hype. It's nothing wrong with it. I think it's overrated. That's all. I'm done with that. Last thing. Um, Jonsi. Jonsi is the wonderful, ghostly voice of Iceland from the band Sigur Rós, one of the best instrumental post-rock bands out there. Really, really cool stuff. If you haven't heard Sigur Rós, you should go back and look at that. But Jonsi, first off, um, first recently did these two new projects. In 2009, he did this thing with Jonsi and Alex's boyfriend. The artist is Jonsi and Alex. The title of the album is called Rice Boy Sleeps. It's a totally instrumental CD. Lots of orchestra in there. It's very interesting. There are some songs that sound a lot like the Sigur Rós sound, with using bows on guitar, some of that pounding drum once in a while, and that very ambient rock thing. But at the same time, other songs sound very orchestral, kind of like a classical orchestra. So that's really interesting. They do use Jonsi's voice once in a while, but no words in it, just ambient instrumental singing. So it's really, really cool. Very sleepy album, very pretty. You could fall asleep to it in an instant. Very chill. Um, Other thing is Go Do, which is Jonsi's new album. He put it out just by himself. Just came out this year. And that one's very cool. It takes some of that instrumental post rock thing that he's done with Sigur Rós and matches it with, mix it together with something a little more technical, electronic, a lot more like Tom York's solo stuff or Radiohead, Thrice's Water album, the Postal Service, anything like that, that kind of mixture with that. So that's really cool. He sings in English a lot of the time, which is strange for his voice, and a lot of times you can't even tell he's singing in English just because his accent is so unusual and so out there. But fantastic album, really cool. It's chill, but at the same time still fast-paced sometimes, and has some good beat to it, so it's really good. If you haven't listened to Sigur Rós already, I would definitely look back into their music. Very good stuff. First album of theirs you should listen to is it's called parenthesis to next to each other. If you look up the word parenthesis, that'll find it too. All of the tracks are technically untitled, but it's a fantastic CD, definitely my favorite Sigur Rós album. So, recap. Scotland, full of really crazy good indie rock. The Twilight Sad and Frightened Rabbit. If you know of any other really good ones, one of them, let me know, definitely. Second thing, don't follow the hype around Animal Collective. I don't think if you don't like them and you feel crazy like everyone else around you loves Animal Collective and loves Weather for Civilian and you don't, you're not alone. And go check out Jonsi. This year he did Go Do. Last year he did an album, Jonsi and Alex, and look into older Sigur Rós stuff. Thanks a lot for watching, and I hope to hear from you guys soon.